this this is a quick pull for today. Just general read, a little hope for us all. So the first thing I see is someone or something is gonna light the, like right now we might feel like we're in darkness and we're just, there's all this thing we have to, like obstacles we have to clear under our feet before we can walk through. Like I had a dream that there was this bunch of little crabs and I was trying to get around them and not crunch on them. And when I woke, it's like, yeah, I kind of thought about like eggshells and I'm like, is it still walking in eggshells when it's crab shells? Because those guys can be robust with their shells. They can also pinch, as a defense attack mechanism. They can scurry. And it's just that feeling lately of just like, there's all these things, these random little things, and it's like not being able to see the light like too far ahead, like flashlights are great, but it can only light up, the nearby vicinities. Like even those lighthouses are great and they can light farther for like the boats and stuff to see, but like we're still not seeing clearly. But something is gonna light a little bit further for us to see, for us to be able to fly above the carnage and fly above the debris, fly above the obstacles, to free ourselves of it, basically. I say fly, walk, whatever, see it, however that resonates for you. And part of that it could be two things. It could be someone helping us without saying anything. It could be, that's the first person. And then the second person could be, or group could be like someone who says something, or a mix of both. Maybe the one person does both. I don't know how it comes for us. We all have different guides and helpers, both, spirit and earth helpers. But the second one is, so at first you get like sort of an actual visual, something, lighting something for us to see. The second one is something, again, the lightning hitting this sword, lighting the path ahead again, but via audio, where we're hearing something, and that might be inspiring to us, makes us think before we act. And we might just overhear a conversation, like you're at a restaurant and you overhear it, you're at a bus, you're at a subway, you're sitting, you're listening, and you just overhear it. Or you're with your friends, because this is kind of like friends. It could be colleagues too, like you get some kind of news and you're like, holy shit, like, okay, this is good news, or this is news I can work with, this is something I can do, or this is the path ahead, like this feels tingly good, right? And then when you do, make sure you're protecting whatever you start creating from the other stuff, because it is something magical. So see, you protect it as you seed it, and you protect it as it comes out of the ground. Because I don't know if you're like me, where I'm terrible. I put some plants outside, like I seeded it, it started to grow, I put it out too soon, and then something ate it. I don't know if it was hummingbirds or insects or other birds or squirrels. And then, also one time I did put it out before it even sprouted, and I did try those little nettings and it still got to it. I don't know. So it's just kind of like that, like protecting whatever it is, you're growing. You can also, this is like past, this is present, so again, this is protecting what, even though it's kind of like hinting towards the past, it's the current, because then the future is this, right? And so you also want to protect your mind and emotion, given these here, and then the other thing is, whatever you're doing, it's again not meant to be seen by other, because this world card always reminds me of an eyeball and it's not ready. But also it kind of like, because I'm also seeing like this past, present, like future, all like the timeline kind of commingling in a way. This world card sometimes is also sort of like a chariot Ferris wheel card for me, where it's like things are moving. They're starting to move again. You thought they weren't, but they are. And this is the card also of sort of like, it reminds me of the 12th house, where it's very like all these do behind the scene. And this is the card of the world also wasn't ready for you to see. Like, I don't know if you've ever experienced something in the 12th house where you're just kind of like, something's happening behind the scene. I can't see it. I don't know what's going on. I just want to know. And they're like, hang on, it's not ready yet. We don't want to show you bit by bit because it's not going to make sense. And then you're going to stress out. You're going to freak out. And you're going to be like, that's what I'm getting. And then it's like, hang on, it's something bigger, better, more beautiful, more harmonizing, whatever, you know? Or sometimes like as you're building and then you don't want to tell people, and then when they see, it's kind of like that celebrity phenomenon, you know. These guys have been kid actors their whole life, and suddenly they have a big break and they're like, oh my gosh, like where did this guy come from, or girl? And like, why are we just knowing about them now? And then you start seeing like, wow, they've been doing this for decades or whatever. So it's a combination of both, you know, where you're the world didn't have, like, the universe couldn't give you what you wanted or needed yet, because they too also had to clear the path, and they too were trying to shine light for you and show you the path to gently get you moving. And maybe they also gave you a bunch of like signs, but we were ignoring it because we're so stuck in our own misery, you know. And maybe, you know, they they showed you a sign and then you're like, I still don't get it. Then they had someone say it through a song or through in person, and you're still like, what? And you know, but we're finally hearing it, seeing it, and we're going to start experiencing and doing more. And it kind of goes back to also, if you didn't know what you want, then people can't provide you. Like if you're a toddler and you're just angry and you want something, and your parent is like, did you want your sippy cup? Did you want your toy? Did you want your nap? Do you want to go outside? What do you want? And just like everything's like, no, no, no. Then they're like, I don't know what you want. I don't know how to help you. So it's kind of like that. But then like slowly they're still paying attention, and slowly they like, okay, they don't want this, but what do they want? Like, what did they're starting to notice, like, okay, this helps and this doesn't. And then slowly figuring it out, you know, and also just slowly offering you more stuff. And then eventually you're like, that's the thing, that's what I wanted and needed. And then you finally also receive. Maybe before you weren't in receptive mode, you're closed off, and now you're also going to be more receptive and open. And these two don't necessarily mean that you're closing people off either. It just means that you're protecting your project, your passion, your mind, but you're still out there because, you know, again, you're just covering one aspect of something, you know. And yeah, so let's see what's next, you guys. But first, take it easy on ourselves, take it easy on our body, because we still have to go through the cycle of, you know, I hate saying the cycle of grief, but pretty much like whatever you've been through, whatever you felt, it's all been valid. Maybe you went through it solo, because there sort of is a lot of solo cards, you know, and only like up until recently, there's sort of more group cards for people. They could have been there always, but again, we were closed off to it. Or it could have been they were there, but they also didn't know how to help, you know? So let's like, you know, open ourselves a little bit, open our heart a little bit, let it in a little bit, let the light in a little bit, just little by little, not too much. Don't overwhelm yourself, and see what the people, the universe have to offer. See what, you know, you can do new with your old skill sets, you know, and see where doing the new, being with maybe new people, the new experience, how that changes your mindset, gives you a new perspective, a new whatever it is. All right, you guys, take it easy.